What's up? Welcome to the Mind Design Podcast, episode 14. I am Ron Carter, and we have a very special guest today,
I'm a guest
Brian
today. I love it.
Marsolais.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Ron. Thank you for the introduction. Is it 15 or is it 14? I know we've done them
Did I
quite a bit.
did I say
I,
14?
you did, but I think it's 15.
Well, I stand corrected because it's 15.
Yeah, yeah. Don't even edit it. Don't worry about it. Yeah. So, hey,
Oh,
here's something that we talk about everything and anything, just to let our audience know right up front. But we're
yeah,
also,
but
we all,
hold on for a second. We do talk about anything and everything,
yep.
but here's the thing. We can't just have a
Based,
podcast that's about anything and everything. This
yeah,
podcast is about mindset, personal growth,
exactly. And that's where I was going with
but
it
we do
before.
talk about that. About it.
Exactly what I was going to say. And we get right into anything and everything which relates to mindset. So we'll put different curves, different twists into things to give you a different perspective on exactly how to get your life to a better place, if that's what you're looking for. So you come to the
Yeah.
right place. And, what I wanted to hit on today was I started thinking about some of the clients that I've had over the years. And I said, well, why is it some of my clients just take off like rocket ships and then others, it takes them a little while to get off the ground? So I started thinking about it and I came to a conclusion that I think is very important. And I just wanted to share that with you, Ron, and with whoever's out there.
I'm curious
It
what it was because I've experienced this too.
it's results. It's absolutely results. And what do I mean by that? Well, the clients that I've had that started getting results started to get motivated more to get more done. But the difference is they weren't getting the big picture result they wanted. They had set themselves up, or we all work together as a team to set small, small goals, bite-sized goals. So that way they could complete their goal, a small bite-sized goal, and they'd get a result. And then they'd get another result. And then they'd get another result. And next thing you know, what happens is their momentum from all the results that they're getting propels. And now they're so motivated to get more and more and more and more that it actually becomes their habits and they're feeling good. And now they also have confidence, which gives them the ability, right? It gives them the ability to get more done because now who do they believe in? They believe in themselves. But it's the results that they got from small bite-sized accomplishments that motivated them. If I sit there and say, well, I want to do $1 million on a podcast a year, well, that's so unrealistic. But if you say, well, I just want to serve people and help people out and see what happens, whatever happens, happens, and we just slowly set goals, maybe we can make $100 in a month. Or doesn't even have to be that. Maybe you're selling something online or whatever it is. By setting yourself up for small, bite-sized goals that are realistic in accomplishing in a certain time frame, that's going to give you momentum. And that's what I wanted to say today. When I thought about it, that came to me. And when I looked at all our clients and who's doing really good, why did they do so good? And when I look at the list, it was because they just kept accomplishing small goal after small goal after small goal after small goal. And next thing you know, bam, their major accomplishment is completed.
So I want to share something to help really bring this home because a lot of times if we just tell people like this is the thing, um, it doesn't land, right? A lot of times. And so, but something that always does land, and this is for anybody who's out there making content, um, is like being able to tell a story to transmit the info that you have. And as you were sharing that, Brian, it made me think of this story. Forgot this guy's name. And if you watched any of our other podcasts, you know that I'm the king of quoting things that and I don't know who said them and paraphrasing
But
the
you're
quote.
close. You're very
Right.
close.
And so this isn't something that somebody said. This is a story to emphasize what Brian's talking about here. And so there's this guy. He will remain nameless because I don't know his name. um, and he holds the Guinness World Record, or at least he held at one point in time, for like consuming an airplane.
What?
This He ate an airplane,
He
a
ate an
Cessna.
airplane,
Yeah,
like a small aircraft.
that's exactly what I mean. Exactly how you heard it is what I mean.
All right. Well,
Digested.
I'm just clearing it up for the audience. We're
Right,
talking
right,
we're talking he ate a Cessna airplane, a small airplane.
right. And so you would think, well, this sounds impossible.
Well, I would think his digestive system's going to be torn apart.
I'm not saying that he was healthy. I'm just saying he did this.
Okay. Yeah. It's like that guy Nacho. There was a guy called Nacho on Mark Wahlberg had a show, The Wahlbergs, I believe. And this guy Nacho, they'd always say, "Can, eat this and eat that." And he used to just eat anything. It was crazy.
So I want you to imagine, how do you think somebody would have to eat an airplane? Like there's the saying of how do you eat an elephant one bite at a time, right? Well, how the hell do you eat something that's not even edible? It's not like it's like an elephant. Like you wouldn't even really consider that edible in most cultures, but there's some cultures out there that do eat elephants.
Mm.
It's flesh, right? You can eat meat, and your digestive system can handle that. But it's like
Yeah,
we
but
got we got wood, we got metal, we got plastics, we got
we got aluminum, I imagine.
a bunch of aluminum.
Yeah.
And so what this guy did is he set his goal initially, like I'm going to eat this airplane. And what he did is, I'm not even joking.
Yeah.
This has actually happened. You can Google it. Is he cut off chunks of this airplane, small chunks, and what he did is he ground the chunks into fine powder, right?
Okay.
And then what he did is he meal prepped. So he would make all of his meals in batches and he would take little tiny bits of this ground fine powder and mix it into his meals and eat it.
All right. Well, that's a story.
And he did and because he broke it down into small little chunks, he was able
He,
to do the impossible.
how long
The
did it
quote unquote
take?
impossible. I don't know. Let's look because I honestly don't know.
That's cool. I like when we do this.
All right. Okay. So, guy eats an airplane. Okay, let's move our pictures out of the way here.
And he did it in bite-sized pieces. We don't recommend this, by the way.
Okay, so he died in 2006. He lived to be 56, born in 1950.
It's pretty
What,
young.
I mean, he ate an airplane. You wouldn't expect. Famous for deliberate consumption of indigestible objects. He came to be known as the Monsieur Mouth Man. I can't pronounce it. Mr. Eat All. He started eating this unusual diet at age 9. Okay, so let's look at where do we get to? Holds
Holy
the record for the
Jesus.
strangest diet. Um, he was awarded a brass plaque by the Publishers Commission. Okay, list of unusual items consumed: 45 door hinges, 18 bicycles, 15 shopping carts, 7 TV sets, 6 chandeliers, 2 beds, 1 pair of skis, 1 computer, 1 copy of the textbook Gravitation, 1 Cessna aircraft,
That's awesome.
one waterbed full of water, 500 meters of steel chain, 1
One
coffin.
coffin. Had to do the coffin. Assorted razors and bolts. Yeah, he had a thick lined stomach, and that's why he could do it.
So it doesn't say how long it took him to eat the airplane, and honestly you could look it up and find this stuff, but he's obviously eaten a lot of other stuff too, and a lot
So
of stuff
he
you're not
was
supposed to eat.
like he was doing this for a publicity stunt, sort of, right?
I mean, this is just um
I mean, he probably
this
got
actually
paid
leads
money to
to,
do that.
I'm actually going to point something out that's really important here. um Based off of that question that you asked, I'm glad you asked that. Yeah, he obviously got publicity from this, right? He
Mm.
obviously got paid to do this stuff, because look at all these different references. He was in on Ripley's Believe It or Not. He's like winning world records. He's doing a bunch of stuff. He's got books. So yeah, he did make some money from this, but I can tell you already from looking at all this stuff and
Mm.
knowing that he started his unusual diet at age 9, he didn't do this because I'm going to get publicity and then make money. He did this because this is just who he was.
Okay.
And so this is why this is important. Whenever we set out to have a big goal, and you were already just talking about this, just not in this same verbiage. Whenever we set out to accomplish a big goal, we have to break it down into bite-sized chunks and then do those bite-sized chunks consistently. And the only way that you do something consistently for the long enough time period to actually achieve the big goal is you the action, integrate the activity into who you see yourself as. Here's a great example of this. I went out in the water surfing twice this weekend. I went on Saturday. I came back. I was sore. My traps, my chest, everything about me was sore and hurting by Sunday morning. I woke up Sunday morning and I saw that it was sunny out. It was warm. The waves weren't huge, which is perfect because I'm learning. And I had a I had a rash on my foot because I'm on a bodyboard, so I have swim fins on. I had a rash from my swim fins from Saturday. Everything that my body is telling me is don't go do that again. You're sore everywhere. You have a rash from on your foot from like rubbing from these fins being on your feet. But I went out there again anyways. And I did that because being out in the water and learning to get better at surfing is just who I am now. And because that's who I am, it's what I automatically do. And so being able to do the bite-sized chunks consistently, a lot of us know that, hey, if we set a goal, we have to be able to do the bite-sized chunks consistently. But here's the real question. How come when we do that and then we map out what the bite-sized chunks are, we still don't do it? Or we only do it for a little bit and then we stop? And the answer is it's because we haven't integrated, we haven't become the person who just does those things. And and when you become the person who just does those things, you don't do it for any reason. You don't do it because I'm going to get publicity. You don't do it because I'm going to grow my YouTube channel all huge, or I'm going to make a bunch of money. Those things might happen as byproducts of the things that you're doing, but the reason that you're doing it is because it's simply what you do.
Well, I agree with you there, Ron. And it's like I said, when you do things consistently, it becomes habits.
Right. Right. And
When
all of that
you
is like a part of integrating it into your identity.
when you
Yeah.
set yourself up and you start seeing results from small bite-sized chunks, that's going to motivate you to become, I don't know, in this case, a better surfer.
Right. Yeah.
Or, maybe eat the right wing off a Cessna. I don't know, But
Maybe some razor blades. Who knows?
yeah, so those are all important things. But it's like that saying, take take the first step. Um, you know, well, that's what it takes. Just
Yeah,
go out on a limb, you know, go out on a limb. I know, like for me, I was starting to feel like I wasn't as mobile as I used to be. And I was like, what is going on? And then I just, yeah, you're working out, you're still lifting weights, but you're not stretching. So now I started stretching. That's my top priority. And I feel a lot better. But I had to look deep into saying, okay, what's really going on? You know?
yeah. I I love that how you brought up the like taking small actions and getting small little wins and having that motivate you. Um, because like even though I did share that like, hey, what happens is you integrate this into your identity, but but when that's happening, you don't realize that it's happening. You only can realize that your identity has changed when you look back and you see that, wow, this is just what I do all the time now. Like, when did this happen? But like on the way there, what you said is what we end up noticing. We end up noticing the little tiny wins that make us want to go do it again. And I love that you said that because it made me realize just now, like, how, wait, what happened? Because this is the first time that I went surfing, went out in the waves back to back, right? And my second
Mm.
session was a lot shorter than my first one because I was out there for probably like 3 hours on the first day. And the second day was like an hour and a half. And I came in because I got washed all the way inside and I looked at all the waves coming to get back out there. And I was like, you can't do it again, bro.
Yeah,
Like
I've been there. Yeah.
and so I
I
just
have been
walked
in,
into the beach.
yeah, I have been in the washing machine too many times today and I'm beat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't even like, oh, like I can't, like, yeah, I'll ride another wave for sure. But it's like getting back out to where the waves are. Like, if, like, I can make it back out there, but I don't have the strength to paddle fast enough to catch another one once I'm out there.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so it's like, all right, you're done today. And as soon as I got out of the water, that's when everything just started to hurt. And I realized how
Yeah.
tired I really was.
Yeah.
But um, the cool thing is, it's like what I've been doing the last couple months is like 2 months ago, I would say even a month ago, I was afraid to go out past where I can touch because we
Yeah.
talked about
Yeah.
this, Brian. I was like,
Yeah.
and so what I was doing is I didn't have swim fins on. I'm walking out there with my bodyboard. I'm in waist deep to chest deep water, right in the impact zone where all the waves are breaking. And then I'm like, this sucks because like all these waves are just breaking on my head over and over
Yeah.
again. And I'm waiting for a smaller one that's perfect for me to catch while I'm dodging the bigger ones that are running me over. And so I finally just decided, like, dude, just put your swim fins on and just get out there. And I did. I finally just got over the fear. This was a couple weeks ago, and I put the swim fins on. And the thing is, you can't walk as far out with fins on your feet. So it's like as soon as the water is like thigh deep, like on the board, and I'm kicking with the fins, and I'm trying to learn how to duck dive under the waves, and I'm really bad at it. So I just barely go underwater, and I still get like tossed all around. And but then I just keep paddling, finally make it out to the point where it's not any more white water. I'm like going over the crest of the waves, and then I get out to this part where like I can't touch the ground anymore, but like the only thing that it's just like little lumps of waves that are pushing me up and down, right? And then they're breaking past me, and it's just so peaceful out there.
Mm.
And I'm just like,
Yeah.
oh, but this is where it gets fun because like I'm not just getting demolished by every wave that's coming by anymore. And
Yeah.
now I'm just out here. I'm letting all these waves pass under me, and the only ones that are like good for me to catch are like the big ones that come like once every 20 minutes. And so I just sit out here and I wait. And then a
Yeah.
big one comes and I catch it in. And
There's a Jimmy
but
Buffett song and it's called The Oldest Surfer on the Beach. And I can relate to that. But there's a part in the song where he says, I get beyond the breakers and I rest for a while. you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. I got to go out there and just chill and then catch some. But here's the thing, having that experience and realizing like I'm out here deeper than I usually go. I made it out here and I did a bunch of things that I'd never done before. I like duck dived or at least attempted to duck dive under
Yeah,
all the
yeah.
waves on the way out. Made it out there, didn't freak out, realized like okay, like it's okay. Like yeah, you can swim in if you want. Like even if you lost your board for whatever reason, you're not going to die out here. Like it's not the end of the world. I don't know why you were scared of being out here.
Hmm.
And realize that it's all okay. And that progress is what made me want to go back out on the second day. Didn't
Right
matter
on.
how I felt. I was like, it we're doing it again.
Let's keep it
And
going.
and honestly, I want to do it today, but I saw the waves are only like 1 foot. But now I'm like, okay, you can get out there now. And I saw
Mm.
that on Friday and on Saturday, the waves are going to be 2 to 4 feet. So I'm like, okay, these were 2 foot waves this weekend. So I'm like, let's
Wow.
double it up. We're going next weekend,
Yeah.
And
So what is
yeah,
it? A boogie board? What do you call this thing? Because
yeah,
I
boogie
paddle
board, body
surf,
board,
Okay, so do bodyboarders usually go out to deep water, or do they just, because I've seen guys rip it right off the shore. They'll run across the
right.
beach, grab a. I'm just thinking you got fins on, you look like a freaking seal. I don't know. It's like
What do you mean? I don't know. Is it like scared because of sharks and stuff? Looking
yeah,
like a seal?
that's what I
Yeah,
was thinking.
I've thought about that.
In
Um,
California, I think they have more sharks
we
than
got a lot of
I
great whites.
I don't want to say more sharks, but being in New England, the water's cold, but you said your water's cold too, so maybe you don't have that many sharks where you are.
There's a ton of there's a ton of great white sharks.
Damn.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a nursery that's 15 minutes away. They go
Oh,
there to
that's
breed.
just freaking awesome.
Yeah, so it's like right up the coast. Uh,
Huh.
so I'll show you real quick, right?
Yeah.
Um, so because I think what you're talking about is like skimboarding when it's like they're ripping it right off the shore.
Yeah, the guys will run right across the shore. They'll
Right.
hit a
And they
wave. It's
and they like
crazy.
ride in, hit the wave. That's skimboarding.
They ride it out and then they ride it in.
Right.
Yeah.
So let's actually here I'll plug my headset so you guys can hear the sound on this. We'll go to the good old YouTube. So
Yeah, let's check.
I've been doing a lot of YouTube stuff. As you can see, there's all this surfing stuff that pops up because I've been
Oh,
watching.
yeah. Yeah.
So body boarding. So look at standing up. But yeah, here's a great example, right? This is at the Wedge. This is at a famous spot south of LA. Actually, let me turn the sound off because I don't want you
Yeah.
to like, hey, that's somebody else's stuff. But yeah, see, he's got fins on,
Yeah.
getting barreled, like
Ron, have you been in a barrel yet?
not yet. So I haven't rode. This is like what, like an 8 foot wave, maybe double overhead.
Yeah, it's a fast curling wave.
Yeah, the Wedge is like gnarly for that. It's known for that. But yeah, so like this is they're deep out here for this, right?
Yeah.
Imagine making 450.
Get out of here, ad. All right. So this is a 9-minute video, so we're not going to watch all that. I just want to.
What do they call this? The wedge?
That other wedge. This is a different place. This is in Nicaragua somewhere. But yeah, this is like what I'm trying to learn how to do, right? So yeah, they're out there like with surfers,
Oh yeah.
But the thing
Oh,
is, you need fins because the board isn't as long as a surfboard, so your legs are dragging in the water. So you
Yeah,
can't
yeah.
hold your hands fast enough to catch a wave. You have to have fins on to kick, to propel yourself to be able to catch a wave and like do all this stuff.
Wow.
But yeah, so when I hear the term boogie boarding, I think of the kids that are in knee-deep water, like at the shore, just catching
Yeah.
whitewater. But like bodyboarding is like this, even though you're on the same type of board, but you're actually like surfing. You're just laying down on your board. It's a
Mm-hmm.
different type of board. Yeah.
Very
So,
cool.
but to eliminate confusion for people, I just tell people surfing, because it's like,
Yeah, I get it.
yeah, yeah, you're out
Hey,
there.
Ron, so what kind of a suit were you wearing? Was it 3/4? Do you have a full suit? 3/2? What are you doing? Because it's
Yeah,
cold, right? It's
I have
cold there
I
too.
have a full suit, and it's a 4-3.
Wow.
So for anybody that doesn't know what the hell we're talking about,
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
talking about wetsuits. Like a quarter suit, that's where it's like sleeveless, right? And it goes down to your thighs. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, and then when you're saying like it's millimeter thick, so when he's in a 4/3,
Yeah, it's like layers of fabric. Because
yeah,
in the suit, in the wetsuit, there's like different layers, right? And so 4-3 means it's 3 layers thick all throughout, from like my ankles all the way up to my neck, and I mean my wrists,
yeah,
to
and
my
the
neck, to
torso's
my
like 4.
ankles, and yeah, the torso is 4 layers.
Yeah.
Um, and that's because, yeah, the water's cold here, and it gets hot out in the summertime when I'm wearing that. Like I'm
Oh my God,
sweating
I bet.
when I get out of the water, and I'm on the beach, I'm sweating. But when I'm in the water, it feels freaking magnificent. Like nothing about me is cold at all. Like I could be out there for as long as I need to
I
be.
I want to give you I just want to give you a little bit of advice or tip.
Give it to me.
Okay? All right. So a 3/2, right?
Hmm.
Um, you can move so much better. That 4/3 is, do you feel confined in that?
No,
You don't at all?
no. I
Okay.
think,
All right.
I think, I think it's a little bit easier for me because I'm not popping up. You know,
Hmm.
like
Okay,
me
yeah.
laying down, half of my body, my legs are stay they stay in the water, you know? Like I'm just on
Hmm.
this board. The only thing I do is like I'm on the board, and I creep forward on the board and arch my back. So that way that's like walking out to the tip of your surfboard. But that's like
Yeah.
doing it on a bodyboard, is but hand is on the nose of it, right?
Yeah.
So if I want to slow down on a bodyboard, what you do is you pull the board up and you drag more of your body in the water, and then you start slowing down. If you want to speed up on a wave, you pull it forward and you put more of your torso on the wave. I mean on the whole board, and get some of your legs out of the water. So a lot of the stuff that I'm doing is sliding up and down on the board, and like grabbing the side of the board and leaning it to like
Mm-hmm.
engage the rails, engage the
Yep.
side of the board to get it to turn.
It's the exact same as, surfing paddles. It's the same. It's all the same. Get in the
Yeah,
front of the board to catch the waves. You got to kind of, depending on the wave, right? When you see like a wave coming, you like after you've been doing it for a while, you could tell, okay, where do I have to be on my board to get this? And sometimes you have
right.
to go just up a little bit, and sometimes you have to
Sometimes you
go
have to
like
be leaning back.
this
And
wave's coming in so fast, I gotta get on the back of my board or it's gonna like catapult me.
right. And another weird thing is on the bodyboard, to paddle really effectively, because you're kicking with your feet, what you have to do is I can't be leaning forward on the board and paddling really hard at the same time. I have to, like, instead of holding the nose, I have to hold the side and have basically the bottom of the board like right here, like in my stomach. That way
Yeah,
my legs stay fully submerged. Because if so, like, here's the water, my legs are here, and then the board is sticking out like this, and I'm hanging on to the end of the board, because that way when I'm kicking really hard, all of that force is staying underwater. And
Yeah.
so what I do is if I see a swell coming, I I do this thing where it's like I spread my legs like really wide with the fins on, and it kind of makes me go like in the water for a little bit, and then I do like a frog leg kick, like I put them back together, and that kind of gives me this little like jump, and then I'm leaning back, and then I'm kicking really hard, and as soon as I feel the wave start to pick me up, then I scoot up on the board, and then keep kicking, and once I scoot up, now I'm kicking, but my fins are going in and out of the water, right? And then once I feel the waves start to take me, then I lean forward more, start going down it, and then I gotta like arch my back, pull the nose up on the board so that I don't like nosedive at the bottom,
Oh yeah, yeah.
and then turn, right? To
Yeah.
like try to bottom turn and catch the
Yeah.
actual wave.
Then you get in that pocket.
I haven't done it yet, man. I
Really?
haven't. Well, I just started using fins recently, right?
Yeah,
And this is
yeah.
why like I love this stuff, because I'm seeing progress, like back to the point of mindset, right? And I know that that day is coming, because I've been out every time that I was out there in waves that were big enough to actually catch like that.
Yeah.
They were breaking on the shore in like waist deep water, and I was like scared, right? Because I was scared of just getting thrown into the bottom because the water's
Yeah.
shallow. And and so and then when the waves were big enough but they were out, I was afraid of being out there, so I didn't go out there. And really, once you're past where you can touch, you need fins, because so much of use in the water to be able to move around on that kind of board, you have to have the swim fins on out there where
Yeah.
you can't touch, or else you're just gonna like if a rip current takes you out, you're just going you have like you don't fight against the rip current anyways.
Yeah.
But if you have
Relax.
swim
You're gonna
fins
get out
on,
of it.
you relax, and then no matter how far out you go, like you're able to like get yourself back in. But if you're just on a bodyboard out there with no swim fins and it takes you way out, like you got your work cut out for you to come back, you know.
Oh yeah.
But the
Yeah.
swim fins make it a lot easier. And
Yeah.
so
Once you get in, and you will, by the end of the summer, you're gonna hit a pocket.
yeah,
And once you get in that pocket, man, I've hit some pockets and it's like it takes you to another zip code. You get done the wave, you're like, wow, where am I?
yeah.
But it's pretty cool. And
I'm excited, man,
yeah,
because I'm learning this stuff while the waves are small. It's summer, right?
yeah,
So, um, so that's really cool, because I know that come like November, like that's when our beaches start to get some really good south swells, and a lot of
yeah,
our beaches are facing the south, here, even though we're on the west coast, and that's when the swells get bigger. And now that I'm learning all these fundamentals, I'll be like, okay, I know how to duck dive. I know how to go out there past where I can touch. And like this weekend, the waves weren't really curling and breaking. They were really like I guess they call
rolling.
them mush. Yeah, they were kind of mushy. Like they would come up like this, and then they'd start to break, and then just kind of like crumble down, you know. And
Yeah,
so they weren't like really. I guess is that called like rolling when they're doing that instead of like barreling over.
yeah. Well, sometimes the waves are really thick, like they're thick in width, and
Right,
they can
right,
move you, like they'll move you so good. Now,
right.
when you have those sets that are like real thin, like it's like a thin wave, you can catch them, but
They
like
don't they
your
don't take you
board,
that far.
it can almost stall your board when you're on the wave. It's
Right.
weird.
That's what it was like this weekend. They were really thin waves,
Yeah.
which was great for my practice, for practicing being comfortable. It was great. But I
Yeah.
know I know that the water here in the wintertime, the waves are bigger and they're just thick.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it's like
Same here.
even when you're like knee deep, and then like 1 foot of white water comes and hits you, you're like, whoa, like you got to just brace yourself for some seconds to wait for it to pass, so you can like keep going, keep walking out,
Yeah. Awesome. It's cool because we covered, right? We covered momentum. Even no matter what you're doing, you get momentum on your board, right? You set yourself up to get momentum on your bodyboard. Just like what I would do, let's say I'm on my paddle board, right? I'm a what they call a goofy rider. That means my left foot is back. Um, but I would be on my left side watching a wave come in, right? And I'm sideways. Now I'm going to start paddling to straighten my board out, which I got some momentum and I'm going to hit that wave. But I need to paddle to catch some momentum so I can catch the wave.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just like setting little goals. You got to get that momentum, but the momentum, when you start achieving little goals, that gives you momentum. That makes you go further. That pushes you. And you're like, wow, if I did that, I can do this. Wow.
Exactly.
And that's one of the secrets, you know? And and that's why, like you'll hear people, oh, they just gave up too soon. They were almost there, you know? And
Right.
that's what we don't want. We want,
And usually when that happens, the person who gave up too soon, the person who says that is somebody who's already gone through that process, because they can see like that's
right.
the hardest part is gaining the momentum,
Yeah.
because that's where you're putting in all the energy, right? The hardest part of me catching a wave is when I'm kicking like a bat out of hell with my fins underwater, and I'm just
Yeah.
like, "Ah," and then as soon as it starts to pick me up, it's like, all right, now we're chilling, and then you're
Yeah.
just going,
Yeah. We're
and
chilling, but now our adrenaline's like up there and oh, it's so
yeah,
great.
yeah. But it's the same thing, and the thing is, the person who never gets to catch that wave, so to speak, right? The person who stops paddling, the person who stops putting in daily effort before the momentum kicks in, they never knew, they never got to experience, and they weren't aware of how close they really were to getting
Yeah.
to that point where the momentum takes them. But the
Yep.
person who's already caught that same wave and whatever it is that you're doing, they see it and they know it. Like, man, if you just would have had a couple extra kicks, you would have
You were
been
so
there,
close. You were
you know?
so close. Yeah. Very cool. Cool stuff, everything's related. And I think everyone is born into this world with a certain tools that they can become whatever they want. And I love seeing people achieving that, getting what they want, getting beyond what they thought they could be. It just
Yeah,
thrills me. It just, I don't know, it just keeps me going to help more people.
yeah. I, me too, man. And for anybody watching this, look, if a 40-year-old who's afraid of the water and afraid of sharks and is afraid of just anything that's out there past where I can touch can get out there and start doing this stuff, if a random guy in France can eat airplanes and bicycles, like if you put your mind to it, you can do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Right on.
Even if it's unhealthy for you. I don't recommend eating an airplane.
Yeah, I don't
But
think
if
that
you
would
but
be
if you
too
want
good.
to, if that's really what your heart desires, and that's what's going to make you feel fulfilled, I'm not going to tell you not to do it. But I'm also not going to tell you to do it though. Like that's
Yeah,
totally up
yeah.
to you.
Oh man. Yeah, he passed away pretty young though.
Yeah, but hopefully he passed away doing what he loved. I mean, I
Yeah.
can't see how I don't understand it, but doesn't mean that he didn't love it. I mean, he started doing it at age 9.
Yeah.
God,
I mean,
do you think of like what kind of a problem child that would be for his parents? You know how you're always trying to like, prevent kids from eating the small pieces and the
oh
Legos and
God.
things like that. Like,
Imagine his kids. Teacher, I'm sorry, my dad ate my homework. I'm not kidding you.
oh man,
Yeah.
yeah. But hopefully this helped any of you guys like really understand like the whole thing here. It's like we break our goals down into small little pieces and and we celebrate taking the action. We celebrate doing those little pieces. And
Yeah.
like to somebody who's an experienced surfer, like me being like Brian, you're an experienced surfer. Me being like,
I mean,
I went out there where I can't touch. It's like
yeah.
to you, that's no big deal, right? Um,
Yeah. I mean, I'm a ham and egger. I mean, there's guys out there who just rep, you know. And like I said,
right.
I'm the oldest surfer on the beach. You got to look that song up.
But all I'm saying is like, don't compare your small goals, your small bite-sized chunks,
Yeah,
to the person who's already doing the thing you're looking to do.
that's right.
Because
Yeah.
your small bite-sized chunks are wins regardless. And if we look at them like wins, then we feel good about them, and we're like, dude, I couldn't do this yesterday, and I'm doing this little thing today. Like this is awesome.
Yeah.
Let's do it again tomorrow.
Look,
And
whenever you
that's
compare
it.
yourself to anything, you're going to be disappointed,
Yeah,
you
somebody
know.
really important and really wise out there once said, I'm just gonna start saying that for every quote that I don't know who said
Yeah.
it. Somebody really important and really wise
I love that.
once said, comparison is the thief of all joy.
Yeah. There you go. That's perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
All right, guys. I think I don't know. I feel like that's a complete
Yeah.
episode. Do
I
you?
loved it. I loved it. We talked, we got some stuff out and I like putting some things out there and I love you create these stories to go with what I am saying or
It's
attempting to say.
a synergistic relationship.
Yeah. And it's amazing. I never would have thought that would talk about my, little accomplishments getting momentum would end up talking about a guy that ate an airplane.
Right. Or even surfing. I didn't think that we'd talk about that today, but it's
Yeah.
cool. And then you tied it all back in together, which is
Yeah.
like pretty dope. Um, so any of you guys watching this, if you want to watch the next one, if you like mindset, you like all this stuff, if you feel satisfied and you want to be more satisfied, then just click the subscribe button because we do this every week.
Yeah.
We have other little short clips, with the little golden nuggets that come out too. So do that. If you hated this, I don't know how you're still here because this is the end of the episode.
Oh, they're gone.
So maybe even if you think that you hate it, you secretly like it, and you should just subscribe anyways because you watched this whole thing if you're hearing me say this.
Yeah. If you hated it, subscribe anyway. That's awesome, Ron. uh,
All right. So
all right.
that's it. Episode 15 in the books.
Right
We'll see
on.
you guys next week. Brian, thanks for being our special guest this week. Maybe
Yeah, I loved it.
if you're available, you can be our special guest next week too.
Sure. Well,
All right.
let the good times roll.
See you guys.